God designed sex to be experienced only in marriage. And here's why. What is sex? Sex is two people becoming one flesh, right? You can almost see that, the physical anatomy. You come together as one. That's also how the Bible describes marriage. Marriage is two people becoming one. It's two different backgrounds, two different preferences, two different financial situations, two different families, two different everythings coming together and becoming one. Now, notice those of you who've been married for a couple years, you realize that doesn't happen overnight. It takes a long time. But what happens is these two opposing forces come together and become one flesh. And your Heavenly Father is saying physical oneness via sex is supposed to be only enjoyed in the context of oneness in every other area: spiritual oneness, emotional oneness, relational oneness, financial oneness, familial oneness. That kind of oneness is the only safe context for physical oneness to take place. And when you have sex outside of marriage, you're basically treating that other person the way that a bulimic treats food. This is an analogy from C.S. Lewis. The bulimic loves food, loves the taste of food, loves the experience that comes with eating really good food. But the bulimic doesn't want the baggage, doesn't want the calories, doesn't want the saturated fats that they have to carry around in their body. So the bulimic eats the food and then vomits it up. And the person who has sex outside of marriage, or the man who has sex with a woman, even though he's not willing to be committed to her lifelong via marriage, what he's saying to her is, I feel about you the way a bulimic feels about food. I want your body. I want the taste of you. I want the satisfaction that comes from experiencing you, but I don't want your baggage. I don't want your bag of crazy. I don't want all of the stuff that comes along with you, your financial debt. I don't want all of that. I just want you. And ladies, I want you to remember that next time some guy tries to have sex with you. What he's saying to you is, I want you, but I don't want all of you. And your Heavenly Father is saying sex, that physical oneness, is only designed to be satisfying in the context in which everything else has become one. Now, I know there's a lot of you out there who are having sex, you're not married, and you're sitting there and you're thinking, yeah, but that's not the way I feel about my lady. I don't feel like a bulimic. I feel like Fat Albert. I want all of her. I just want it all. Okay, maybe that's how you feel. Maybe you love her. But why haven't you gotten married? At least be honest with yourself. What you're doing is you are reserving the right to check out of that relationship anytime it doesn't meet your fancy. And your Heavenly Father is saying having sex with that kind of attitude is unfair to her, it's unfair to you, and not only is it unfair, it's actually destroying your relational capacity to give yourself fully to another person. It's actually undermining everything your Heavenly Father designed sex to do. Sex was supposed to be a power for life, a power for good, and what you're doing when you engage in it wrongly, when you twist it and pervert it, sex, that same power comes and it brings destruction and brings everything you don't want in your relationship. And sure, yeah, it feels good physically, but what it's doing to you relationally is terrible.